Hi YouTube, it's the Jerky Freak. I'm going to show you how to make some of the best jerky in the world using only stuff that you might find in your kitchen. What I do is I make jerky. I make jerky for everyone, but I make the best jerky in the world, and a lot of people out there already know this, but people on YouTube, you're going to find out now. I'm going to teach you how to make a really simple recipe and how to get your jerky to taste professionally great. You know, we're gonna make some fucking jerky. So you need some meat. Yeah. So you need a large amount of meat, and I think the biggest problem that people have is they go to the butcher and they buy prepackaged meat, and you probably shouldn't buy prepackaged meat. You should probably buy meat in bulk because you get a better deal. But the only problem that you have with that is how to get it sliced. Well, if you don't have a slicer, what you're going to need is a ninja sharp knife. You see this? This will hurt. So be very careful if you get a knife like this. But this is like a butcher's knife. You know, it's a pretty nice knife. And that'll help you slice the meat. And, you know, it's got these things in here so, you know, it doesn't get stuck to the meat. That'll make it good. First you need to wear the proper, you know, material like clothing, because you don't want all that jerk all over you. You don't want, like, you know, meat, nasty meat sauces. They get everywhere. So if you're gonna do this, you might want to have your mom's permission or your wife's permission, because it can be really messy. First, we're gonna need to move my table back here. Can you see me? I know I look good. Yep. Freak. Alright, so basically we need three most important things. There's some soy sauce, any kind of soy sauce that you can get from the grocery store or fine. We also have teriyaki. This is teriyaki glaze, but you're gonna see soy sauce and then teriyaki sauce that looks exactly like this. You don't want it. You want to shake it and look at it. If it's loose like soy sauce, you don't want that stuff. You want the stuff that's thick, kind of like barbecue sauce, but a little thinner. That's the kind of stuff that you need to make your jerky. So, two most important things is your salt and then your glaze. And then also your smoke. So there's your three primary things. So, saying that, you can make all kinds of beef jerky with this base right here. Get this out of your way so you can see. I want you to be able to see. So what you do is you take the most important thing. You take your meat, you lay it out across the board. There's a reason to this. Just kind of fucking make it like a puzzle. Find some smaller pieces of meat. My dog's gonna love that piece that fell. Put it there. Okay, so you know, here's what you don't want to do at home. Is you get so excited, you drink a beer because you know it's like hurry up and wait and make a video. Then somebody comes to your door, and then you know it's all these things. And I forgot to put my gloves on, so we're gonna stop the video. I'm gonna throw this meat away because it's not cool not to be sanitary. Anyway, good jerky. Anyway, you need meat. You need your seasonings. You need your marinades. You need your rubs. All these things that are very important in making jerky. And also you need a dryer, a good industrial sized dryer. That's important. I bet you thought I was gonna put beer in it. But no, I'm not. That's good. You know, the first thing that you should understand about making really good jerky is that you should season your meat as if you were making a steak. And if your steak tastes good and well seasoned, then you're gonna love it dry. So let's get started. First of all, you're going to need your gloves. You know, And you're gonna want to get some good gloves. I won't ever wear these gloves like this again, but you need some good gloves. You go to your butcher, you ask him for top sirloin, top round, bottom round, various different types of steak you can use. You can also use brisket, but brisket tends to be a little bit fat. And you know, so you know, you kind of pick your meat. I like to use chuck steak, and let me show you why. Let me show you why. All right, you see this here? This is what they call marbling. You know, the way the meat is. You know, you see it's like grains on a tree or something. And then on the outside there's a layer of fat. I think that's called the fat strap or something. I might be wrong, but I call it fat. And it's on the meat. Now, it might look gross and disgusting, you know, but I like to leave that on there because once you put all the seasonings on the meat, the fat really holds the flavor a lot better. So you can do the trimming of the fat later after we get it done and you start processing it. So basically what you want to do is you want to make sure you have your meat laid out flat on a surface. Only one side is not going to be seasoned of, you know, countless layers. So we're going to start right now. So we'll take our wet stuff and just move it aside because we don't need it right here right now. Move that, but we're going to use all the dry stuff. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take, start with our garlic. I don't really believe in spoons and measuring cups and everything, so I'm going to do it and tell you just about how much it is. That's about 2 tablespoons of minced garlic per layer. You just sprinkle it around. 2.5 tablespoons of minced garlic per layer. So you get that all over there real nice like that. This is what I said. If you do it and you try to do it like, you know, a civilized person, I guarantee it's going to affect, it's really going to affect the quality of your jerky. So, like I said, you might need your parents' permission. Or, you know, if you got anybody that lives with you, they're going to hate you afterwards. After they stop eating. You take some Montreal seasoning, and I usually just start and get a good coverage all over the meat. That's not the kind of thing you want to be shy with. Some of it's going to fall off, some of it's not going to stick, some of it's going to be absorbed into the meat and start to break down. Some granulated onion powder. If you can see, I'm making a good layer over the whole thing, even parts where there's no meat. Take some of this jalapeno cilantro stuff, you know, about a good 2 teaspoons. Sprinkle it around. I won't be using too much of this. This will be going around all over. So when I start to mix it up, it's going to mix with everything else, and you don't want to put too much of this in there. Some black pepper, because black pepper makes things taste good. Don't ask me why. You put some of this in your mouth alone, and you're like, what the hell did I do that for? So basically, I got sick of going to the gas station and seeing everybody else, you know, making this fucking jerky, and it all tastes like crap. It tastes like crap. So I didn't want to eat that crap anymore. So as you continue on, you just find another piece of meat, you spread it out, and you throw it on top of the other piece of meat, you know, and so on. Alright, one more thing I forgot to tell you before I get ahead of myself. The thinness of your meat is important. You don't want it too thin, and you don't want it too thick. Because if it's too thick, it's going to take a lot longer to dry. Welcome back to Cooking with the Freak. We're just finishing up layering our meat and seasoning, so on and so on and so on. So you want to get a trash bag. So you put the meat inside the bag. And another thing I want to mention is the meat is delicate right now. So you want to make sure that you're not touching it any more times than you have to. Because we're going to pour all of our wet stuff inside the bag. And we only really want to cover. We don't want to wash the meat. We just want to cover it with our wet mixture, which will be, now if you're not watching, you're going to miss the ratios here, because I'm a man and I don't use measuring cups because I think they're for girls. So this is like the most beautiful experiment. There's almost no way you can mess it up. If you poured a whole bottle in there, of course you'd fuck it up. But you see this thing's got like a little pea spout right there. So you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like that. Then you're going to take your thick stuff right here, which is the teriyaki glaze. Just so you can see, pour it in that bag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's how much you use. Okay, liquid smoke's a bit different. You don't need near as much of this. But we're going to put a good portion in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, hi. Yeah, I was just getting ready to start placing the meat on the grates before they go into the dryer. It's called the dehydrator. You need to make sure that you have one. This is the grate. Okay? First of all, we gotta have beer. Beer's important. Very, very, very important. That's good. Okay, so over here, we have our meat that has this very consistent kind of yucky look to it. It's got teriyaki and it should smell wonderful. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take the meat out. We're done worrying about the flavoring and everything. We're just going to lay it on. We shouldn't be adding any flavors to it after this. So now what we're about to do is we're going to take this outside, and we're bringing the camera so you guys can see, and we're going to slide it in the dehydrator and turn it on. And it's going to take probably about 6 to 8 hours. Okay, basically what we have here is an industrial sized dehydrator. What you want to do is you want to go ahead and set it on high, and then turn it on at between 6 and 8 hours. We'll do that in a second. I'm going to go ahead and load up the machine. I have my trays here, and you just feed them in like this, one at a time. Make sure you got them lined up right. So, okay, now you can see everything's loaded properly into the machine. You just want to make sure that you just tap it to make sure it's flush with the edge. So you don't want this sticking out. You don't want it tipped at the end. You put the lid on like so, and then you sit it there, and then you turn it on from between 6 and 7 hours. 7 hours, we'll have meat.